Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everyone around the world. Happy Wednesday, April 30th. I think today's the last day of of April, and I can't believe how fast this year is going by already. Today's live topic, and welcome, is being free from the fear of failure, being free from the fear of failure. And I think this is one of the biggest fears that we have that really debilitates us from moving forward and taking risks and taking chances in life. It's the fear of failure. And I want to talk about what it means to be free from fear of failure. What does that look like? What are the ramifications? What does it, how does it affect the energetic flow for you to manifest and create? So, welcome to the live session. And for those of you who have questions during the live sessions or comments or feedback, please put it in the chat. I'm always amazed by the wisdom and the questions that you have for me, which I'm learning, and I hope you're learning, and we're learning from each other. So thank you so much for the lively and beautiful engagements that we share and have on this platform. So I'm deeply grateful for you. Okay, so today's topic is being free from the fear of failure. So make sure you, again, put your comments and questions in there, and I will be talking about this topic. And for those of you who don't already know, we've begun the process of really building out the AI educational platform for on traditional Chinese medicine healing system, and we're so excited about it. Our team is working really hard at this. And for those of you who haven't completed our survey, asking you questions about what type of features, tools you would like on such a platform, such an educational platform that can help you in your health and wellness and help your family's health and wellness at the highest level. And so we're asking you to complete that survey uh, to help us build a platform that really meets your needs, that really meets your health and wellness needs. Again, like I said, it's an AI platform focused on traditional Chinese medicine healing system. We're taking that 5,000-year-old ancient healing system and we're turning it into modern technology with AI. And my team, we have such an incredible team, and they are genius. They are genius, far more genius than I ever would be. So we're very excited, and it's happening. We're moving forward with it. We're very active about it, and we're very happy. Hello, Najira. Thank you so much for joining us. Okay, so let's just clear the energy of the room. And then let's get started with this topic on being free from the fear of failure. Being free from the fear of failure. Just relax, breathe naturally, stay present in the now. Dear God, Angel Spirit Guide, says that Masters, Divine Creator, and our spirit teams, thank you so much for allowing us to create this sacred space. Thank you so much for allowing us to discuss this, engage with the topic of being free from the fear of failure. We're deeply grateful for the messages and everything, all of the wisdoms that you send to us, and to be a conduit for those messages. Deeply grateful for that. And thank you so much for allowing us to stay present and to keep guiding us and showing us your wisdoms, showing us your higher messages, showing us the path to each and every one of us to reach our highest potential and the greatest expression of our soul. So thank you so much for removing any low frequency energies that do not serve the highest and best good of all of us in this sacred space, and for allowing this sacred space and for this session to go off without a hitch, to go with flow, peace, serenity. And so it is. Namaste. Okay. Hi, Lydia. How are you? Hi, Lydia. Hi, Najira. Okay. So, like I said, if you have any questions about this topic, please let me know. So, being free from the fear of failure. So, I want to talk about this topic from an energetic perspective because, everything for me is about energy. I'm obsessed about energy. I'm obsessed about energy healing modalities. Obsessed about energetic frequencies to manifest, to attract beautiful things into your life. So, because the premise of this entire universe in our lives is based on energy, whether it's flowing or whether it's blocked. And so, from an energetic perspective, being free from the fear of failure. And so, what it is this is that when we are able to let go of that fear of failure, when we're just able to let it go and say, I'm going to go on this journey and I don't know what the outcome is, and I'm okay with whatever the outcome is, to have an intention and to have a goal. And it's okay to have goals. It's absolutely the most powerful thing to have a goal, because when you have a goal, you're putting it out into the universe. You're When you say things with intention, with goals, you're signaling to the universe the direction at which you want to go, in which you want to go, right? So if you want to go in the direction of having a certain type of job, when you set that intention, you say it out loud and you keep saying it, you're signaling to the universe, bring me all the cooperative components to meet that goal. So setting intentions and goal is very important. But once you set that intention and goal, you let it go to say, okay, I set this intention, I set this goal, and I'm going to now go on the journey of life, whichever way it's going. So maybe it's going this way, maybe it's going this way. I surrender that journey to you, universal forces, divine. When you free and say, you know what, I'm okay. I'm not, I'm so if it means that I'm going in this journey and it didn't work out, I'm okay with it, because there'll be a new opportunity. And I would have learned so many things during that process of creation, during that process of going on this journey. If it didn't work out the way I expected, I'm okay with that, because that process that I went through is the precursor to something new, to another opportunity. See, everything has, Abraham Hicks says, my favorite slogan, ready to be ready to be ready. You're going on this journey, and so it didn't work out the way you think it should work out. But that journey of what you might call failure is the precursor to the next journey. And from that journey, you've expanded, you've grown, you've learned so much about yourself and so much about the world. And that was the precursor for the next journey, for the next chapter. So from that perspective, if you say, you know what, if it didn't work out, that's for my highest and best good. If you call it a failure, it's not really a failure. So we want to change the terminology. We wanted to give different meaning to failure. The only way it could ever be a failure is if you see it as a failure. The only way it could be a failure if you're not learning from it. That's the only way it could really be a failure. Otherwise, it's just experiences to learn and grow. So if you can just switch the meaning, switch the word from failure to opportunity to grow and expand, to be prepared for the next chapter of my life, that is a powerful energy. And so what it is you set that intention, you set that goal in a powerful way, and whichever way it goes, you're in flow with that way. You're not so attached to that it must succeed. You're not attached. Does that mean that you're not going to take all the steps to make it successful and pivot and shift and change? Of course you would, because that's part of the journey. Part of the journey is solving problems and overcoming challenges to make things work for that expansion and growth. That's part of the journey. That doesn't mean you're not going to take action. It doesn't mean that you're not going to do everything for it to work. But there's a balance between taking those actions and being able to pivot and shift, and knowing when something is not working and pivoting and shifting, and knowing when you've done everything that you could and now it's time to fold it. But that's not failure. That's that experience that you just went through was your training for the next chapter, for the next thing. Because from that, you're going to do the next thing even more better. And it will be a bigger opportunity for you. And so that's the thing, is that when you attach yourself to the success of something so much, you attach yourself so much, what you're doing is you're actually creating a lot of resistant and blocked energy. That's what it is. And so that fear of failure is creating this blocked energy where you don't have the creativity to be able to find amazing solutions, to find a different way of thinking about it, a different way of approaching it. It's like you're clogging up your whole system by having this fear of failure. It's a clog to your energetic flow. It's a clog to be able to receive the cooperative components from the universe. It's a clog to become resourceful. It's a clog to become creative. It's all of, there's so much, you're creating just a lot of blocks. Where otherwise, if you just say, okay, I'm going to go on this journey and I'm not going to be so attached to the outcome of this journey, because we are eternal beings. So the journey, it's never about the destination. It's always about the journey, because we are eternal beings and it's always just about the journey. And not being so attached to that outcome is a very powerful thing, because it frees up your energetic space. And when you free up your energetic space, what's happening is you're more creative, you're more resourceful, you're always meeting the right people at the right time, you're always showing up at the right place at the right time. And there's this incredible flow that comes into your life. Incredible flow. Incredible flow. And then you become a powerful creator, because it's in the flow that there's power, that there's manifestation, that there's creation, that there's alignment of resources coming together. You want to be in that flow. And so when you have this fear of failure, it's as if you've created a major block in your energetic flow, which prevents you from being resourceful, which prevents you from being creative, which prevents you from connecting and meaning and aligning with the outside external opportunities and external people that would allow you to manifest that goal or intention. And so being free from that outcome of that failure is a very, very powerful thing, because what it's really doing, it's really freeing up your energetic space. That's what it's doing. And so you're saying, well, how can I get rid of this fear? How can that fear be released? How can I'm so attached to that outcome? How can I let it go? That's the hardest thing. The hardest thing is to let something go, right? Let fear go, let our emotions go, let people go, let situations go. That's our biggest, I think that's one of the biggest things that we have, the biggest challenges in each and every one of us, is to be able to let things go, let it go, surrender, release to the universal forces. That is like the biggest thing, one of the biggest challenges that I think we all have, because that means that we have to change and shift. That means that we have to look into our deepest part of ourselves, and we have to say it's not working. And it's hard. It's hard to look inside and say it's not working and I want to let it go. We want to hold on to things, right? My mother passed away a month and a half ago. And it's so, and I could see it from my sister who took care of her for 25 years. I could see how hard it is for her to let my mom go. To this day, she's devastated. And of course she would be, because she was with her every day for 25 years. And so letting that go, letting that emotion go is so hard for her. And of course it would be so hard for her, because she's been with my mom for 25 years every single day. But at some point, hopefully, I'm hoping over time it will get better and better for her. It's very devastating for me as well, but it's easier that I could let her go because of the fact that I wasn't her primary caregiver. So it's easier for me to let her go. But I'm always praying to her, always. I pray many times a day, and it's always her, my late sister, son, my spirit team. I'm always calling her in, my mom, always. And so letting go of that is the hardest thing. Okay, so let's just take a quick break and see if there's any questions about the subject or about this matter. Um, Hi, Michelle Lindy. Hi, Nancy. Oh, thank you, Nancy. That's so sweet. Hi, Perry. Good day, Moon, and everyone. With peacefulness and joy, celebration of being alive right this moment, every single moment with wonderment and creativity. Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much. Perry also says, getting out of our heads and to remain grounded in the present moment and enjoy the time given with delight and joy. Fear is usually not needed in our lives. It shuts down the flow. Absolutely. It's not needed. It's needed. Fear is needed in situations where there's real imminent danger, right? There are situations where we are in imminent danger, and that's where fear comes in. Fear comes in for that purpose at that time. But to have fear that is long, that is every day for the next 6 months or 12 months, it doesn't serve us. So oftentimes, many of us hold fear that no longer serves us. So, of course, we need fear when we are in dangerous situations because that means we have to do fight or flight. Otherwise, you know, you're going to put yourself in peril, right? So fear is a very important emotion, but it's supposed to be used for a very specific reason when there's imminent danger. And oftentimes we hold on to fear over things that have no imminent danger. Like right now, there's, people hold on to fear. Oh, fear of the future, fear of the future. Are you okay right now? Are you in imminent danger right now? No, you're not. So holding on to that fear is truly blocking that energetic flow because the future could go in any direction, any direction, any direction, any direction the future can go. And the more we keep holding on to that fear, the more our lives go in the wrong direction and no longer serves us. And so, and we're having fear for no good reasons. That's where most of us hold on to fear, that there's no real validity in that fear. There's just the unknown. So unknown of failure, unknown that it's not going to work out, unknown that that type of fear is not imminent and therefore it doesn't serve us. And that's where a lot of us hold on to that type of fear. And so this fear of failure is, as I was going, and there's many things that I've done in my own life where I thought to myself, what do I have to lose? Okay, I'm going to lose some money. Okay, that's okay because I still have a roof over my head. I still have food on the table. So one of the things that I want to talk about and go into is, what does it mean to fail? And how can we restructure that? How can we give new meaning to that word failure so that we have the courage to be able to go on that journey and take those risks, calculated risks, good risks. Everything in life is a risk. There's nothing that's not a risk. If you go into your car and drive to the supermarket, that's a risk, right? But it's a calculated risk. If you go onto an airplane and you fly to another city, that's a risk, but it's a calculated risk, right? So we're always taking calculated, we're not taking stupid risks or, just irresponsible risks. We're taking mindful, calculated risks because everything in life is a risk. And so when you start to have the fear of failure, what it is, it's an irrational risk. It's a rational mindset. It's irrational. It doesn't have anything to do with your reality or the groundedness of or it's not grounding you to what the possibilities can be for your future. And so it doesn't serve you to have this massive fear of failure. Okay, let's take a little break, see if there's any questions, and then I'll go into the next chapter of this topic. Okay, hi Perry. Matt Perry says exactly, Moon. Fear with imminent danger is a serious threat. Thank you for confirming that. Okay, hi Niger. I pray eternal rest on the soul of your mom and peace that surpasses human understanding to your sister. Oh, thank you so much. I'm gonna convey that to her. I'm gonna convey that to her. I've been speaking with her frequently because I'm concerned about her. I'm concerned about her mental emotional well-being, and so I've been speaking to her quite often, much more often than I would normally do because I'm always checking on her. Today's topic is giving me a mind shift. Thank you, Niger. I'm so happy. Good day, Heidi. How are you? Oh, from Boulder. Oh, I love Boulder. I was just in Denver a couple of, not last week, the week before, I was in Denver. And I was there from like Monday through Friday. And the day that I was leaving Denver, going to the airport, it started snowing. But it was beautiful. I love the snow. I actually love the snow. But I was able to take off because all of the snow was just melting as it hit the concrete, it was just melting. So I was able to take off, but I just love it. I didn't have time to go into Boulder because of the schedule, but I love Colorado and I was just there, Heidi. You're welcome, Nancy. I'm glad that this is of value. Paris says the greatest thing that my mother and I shared was my best way to help her during her weeks of dying and honor to nurture. Wow. Thank you, Perry, for really taking care of your mom, especially during her last days. I think it is so important. I think the thing that my mom feared the most while she was in the hospital, she feared the most of being alone. That was her biggest fear. So what my sisters did, because they're all in the East Coast, I'm in the West Coast, and my three sisters did, they took turns. One had the day shift, another had the night shift, another was there on the weekend. So they all took turns being with her. And during her final moments, unfortunately, I didn't make it in time for her final moments. Before I got to the airport, she had already passed. They were all with her, including my niece. They all were with her and held her hand. So her wish to not be alone was honored with my mom because my mom was always scared of death because she felt that she never understood that she was an eternal being. My only fear is not of death. My fear is pain and suffering. That's my fear. Death, I know I'm an eternal being. My fear is pain and suffering. It's not death. Death is the most beautiful thing. You are at peace. Your soul is riding high. Your soul is transcending to a higher consciousness level. You're expanding and growing. So it's not the death that I fear. It's more like the suffering and pain of the physical body. That's what I fear the most. Okay. Um, Oh yeah. Oh, you would have loved to meet my. Thank you. Oh, thank you, Heidi. That's so sweet. Yeah, I know. I wasn't able to stay in Colorado because my schedule is so tight. And so I'm always in and out. Wherever I go, I'm in and out, in and out, in and out. Um, okay, Heidi says, I spent 3 months with my mom before she passed. My mom was so afraid to be alone. My sister went out to stay with her when I left. God bless you, Heidi. God bless you, Heidi. God bless you, Perry, for being with your mom at the final days, being with them, being with them. That is the most beautiful thing. Just being with them and staying with them is the highest level of support that you're providing to a loved one. Just being with them. You don't have to, just holding hand. Just knowing that you're there is so comforting to those who are passing away. It really is. It makes a huge difference. There's a peaceful way to go, and then there's a traumatic way to go. And when you have people there by your side, holding your hand and being there, it makes the passing, so much, so much peaceful, serene, beautiful, because we're all going to go. Our physical bodies are going to go, and it's inevitable for all of us. So it's the way it's done. So thank you so much for doing that for your moms. Very, very grateful that there's such beautiful people in this room, beautiful energy, people who truly honor their family, love their family, understand the compassion and love that you provide to those who are passing. So thank you so much for doing that for your own mothers. I think it is so important. And I don't have children, but I know that when I pass, it's going to be beautiful. I trust so much in the divine, so much in my spirit team, that I know that I'll pass in a peaceful way where there's going to be love and compassion. Whoever is around me, whether it's a caregiver or not, I don't know. But I'm not worrying about that. I'm not worrying about that because I know that God will take care of everything as it should. Heidi says, I rescheduled my flight 3 times. When I left, I cried the whole flight home. Oh, yes, totally, totally understand. I mean, when I came home too, when I flew back from the East Coast to West Coast, and I got sick. I got sick for 2 weeks. I got sick, and I hadn't been that sick in a long time, in a long time. And I know it was from it was so emotional being there with my family for the funeral, for the wake, for the burial. It was so emotional. It was like my body was trying to release some things. When I returned, I got sick because my body was trying to release energies from the whole very emotional situation. And so I got sick. I hadn't gotten sick like that in a long time. Yes, I agree with you, Perry. It's so incredibly beautiful to have such a family that stepped up. We are where we are supposed to be. We all have different ways to help and support the process of passing through our love. Absolutely. I totally agree. We are all where we're supposed to be. And uh, all of us will be supported, whether we have children or not. Know that every single one of us will be supported if you can have faith and trust in that process. Nancy says, transcending is the most wonderful thing when you love yourself until last breath. Thank you, Nancy, for that. Beautiful. Okay, so let's go on to the how to release this fear of failure, the fear of failure. What can you do to release the fear of failure? Okay, so the first thing is this. The first step is to reframe that word, reframe that phrase, fear of failure. Reframe failure. What does it mean to reframe the failure? So rather than saying it's a failure, you're saying, wow, it was a wonderful situation for me to learn so many things. The experiences that I learned from this process was so great, and I learned so many things to prepare myself for the next chapter. So rather than failure, use the word opportunity. Opportunity to have learned from so many experiences that is going to prepare me so much better for the next chapter, next project, next thing in my life. So just reframing it from failure to opportunity is a big deal. Failure to opportunity. Replace failure to opportunity. And then the second step is what did I learn from the situation? So you want to make sure you're learning from the situation. Write down all the things that you learned and say, I learned this. And my next chapter, I'm going to do better. I'm going to do it this way, not that way. So though this tip is really for those people who went through a process and felt that they have failed. So we're reframing that failure from opportunity. Now, for those of you who are wanting to go into a process and haven't, like maybe you want to shift careers, like leave your old career and you want to make a move to a completely new career, and you're scared and you have fear that you won't be able to make that transition. Or if you do make that transition, you're not going to be good at it. You're going to fail because you may not have as much experience. You don't have the confidence. You don't have enough self-worth, right? There's all this fear like, oh my God, how am I going to do that? Can I do that? There was a fear that I couldn't actually be a founder of an AI tech company, which is what I'm doing now with traditional Chinese medicine. And I had that fear. And there were so many things that in going into it, I had so many things that I said to myself. So I want to share with you with the process of what I did to enter this realm. And when I did it, I got my co-founder, I got the right advisors, two Chinese medicine experts on our team. We got, it was incredible. All of those cooperative components that I needed, like my co-founder, who's the CTO, the chief technical officer, he came in. Our two advisors in Chinese medicine came in right away. I mean, and I don't know anything about technology. I don't know anything about AI. I'm not a Chinese medicine expert, although I read up a lot about Chinese medicine. I use traditional Chinese medicine herbs and healing systems every single day in my own life. I use them every single day for many years. But I'm not a Chinese medicine practitioner, right? So I had to bring those people in. So this is what I said to myself. I had this idea of creating Chinese medicine to AI. And I said to myself, universal forces, I am worthy, I am good enough to be able to uh, express my highest potential. And if this is the path that you want me to go on, I spoke to spirit, I spoke to the divine. I said, if this is my higher purpose and call, if this is on my soul's journey, I know that you will bring me all of the cooperative components, whether it's people, whether it's money, whether it's opportunity situations, you're going to bring it in for me. And I'm going to go on this journey knowing that I don't have to know everything right now. I don't have to know everything. All I know is that you're telling me go on this journey. That's step one. So I focused on step one of making a conscious decision to go on the journey. That was step one. Just making that conscious decision and setting that intention out to the universe. I spoke it, I wrote it. I said, I am going to turn traditional Chinese medicine into AI technology. And I'm going to release and surrender to your infinite wisdom. I don't know how it's going to work. I don't know exactly when it's going to, all the things are going to come together, but I trust in your process. And I'm setting out that intention right now for me to attract those cooperative components. That's it. That's what I did, literally. That's what I did. So that intention was very powerful. And I'm going to go let go of fear, because the journey of expansion is not to know everything right now. It's to not know. And despite of not knowing, I'm going to go on this journey. Now, do I know what the outcome of this is going to be? No. It could very well succeed. It could fail, right? I don't know what this journey is going to be, but my intention is that it would succeed, but it could fail. And so the next step, but I said, you know what? God, universe, spirit team, I'm going to go on this journey and I'm going to enjoy it. I'm going to take the good with the bad. I'm going to do the ebb and flow. So sometimes there's going to be flow in this journey. Sometimes it's going to feel more challenging, right? And I'm willing to go on that journey of whatever it takes me, whether it's challenging times or good times. Like we just got really good news today, which I will announce next week. But we got good news today. So that was beautiful. And I was so grateful for it. But there are days when it's challenging, especially you're trying to take an idea and you're trying to create it into a real product that people could see, people can use, people can touch, people can feel. So that's a really hard thing. So, but I said, I'm willing to go through the ebb and flows. And whatever happens as the outcome, I know it's for my highest and best good. Am I guaranteed that this is going to succeed? No, I'm not guaranteed that, but I made that intention. I said to myself, it's okay. whichever way the journey takes me, I'm willing to go on the ride. And I'm not so much concerned about the destination. I'm going to focus on the journey. So every single day, I focus on the journey. What do I need to do today? What do I need to do today to move this forward in the direction that we want it to move forward? Now, does that mean that there aren't things that's just going to pop up and kind of put a wrench in the engine? Of course there will be. But you set yourself to prepare for that. You say, you know what? I know that there's going to be situations that are going to rise that I didn't expect, but I know that I could handle it. I will handle it with mindfulness and respond with mindfulness at the time because I can handle anything. I'm good enough. I'm worthy enough. I'm smart enough. I'm resourceful enough. So you want to set that into, you want to have that mindset. You want to train yourself with that mindset that, yes, I'm going to do everything in my power to drive this forward, but I'm not going to be so attached to the outcome that whichever way it goes, I am okay with it. Then the third final thing is this, is that I said to myself, what is the worst thing that could happen if this thing, quote unquote, fails? What is the worst thing that it can happen? Am I going to be homeless? Am I going to have no food to eat? Am I going to lose my family? Like I literally said, what is the worst thing that could happen? The worst thing that could happen is that I've learned many things to prepare me for the next chapter. The worst thing that could happen is not that bad. I guarantee you that 99% of the time when people fail something, it's not the worst thing that could happen. It's just a preparation for the new chapter. So trying to put a doomsday scenario around failure for 99% of the situations, it's not doomsday for anybody. It's just an opportunity to learn and be prepared for the next chapter. So I said to myself, okay, so what? I'm going to have a great experience. I'm meeting so many great people. I'm learning so much. And if this thing doesn't work, it prepares me for the next chapter, next thing. I still have roof over my head. I still have food on the table. I still have my family, right? I'm still incredibly blessed to live in a very prosperous country, right? And I'm so grateful for it because I've been given this opportunity to do it, whereas most people don't have the opportunity. So I bring in a lot of gratefulness and I bring in a lot of like, what is the worst thing? 99% of the time with failures, it's not doomsday. It's just preparation to go through the experiences and learn so many things to prepare you for the next chapter, for the next project, for the next part of your life. That's what it really means. Okay, so let me take a little break and see if there's any questions or any comments. Um, oh, okay. Hi, Grand Duku. Thank you for your question. What's a good reminder tip to step into courage when overcome by fear? Yeah, that's a wonderful thing. Question. So when you are overcome by fear, the first thing to do is I would just pause. I would just pause yourself. Don't try to do anything. Just pause and go inward. Close your eyes and take deep breaths. Tap into the prana energy, the life force energy, which is the breath. Tap into that energy because that prana energy, take few deep breaths in and out. And just by doing that for even a minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes, you're starting to settle that energy. That is step number one. Step number one is just settle that energy. Don't do anything. Don't try to force yourself to do something at that moment because you might make a mistake, you might not do it well. So that's the time to pause and tap into your life force energy, the prana, the chi, the ki. Connect with the life force energy through your breath. That will start to anchor you because when we are in fear, we're not anchored to Mother Earth. We're not anchored to our surroundings. We're kind of in some kind of it feels like as if we're like kind of our mind is muddied. We're in this more like the air energy. We're not anchored to anything. We're not centered, right? We're lost. We're confused. We're like in some nebulous kind of state, right? There's no anchoring. There's no anchoring to Mother Earth. And if you could do it, like let's say you're at home and you have a backyard, it's better to do it while you're with nature. So maybe walk out to your backyard where you might have some grass and trees and do the breathing exercise there, the surrounded by nature. But if you can't do that and you're sitting at the desk, then do it at your desk. That is the first thing. Until you start to calm that energy. And then the second step might be, you know what? I'm working on this right now, and I just can't work on it. Maybe you need to step away. Maybe you need to just take a pause and abandon that thing that you were doing for now and go out, maybe spend some time with nature, do something that is, or maybe listen to certain music that makes you feel, that puts you in a different vibrational frequency. So maybe you stop and you don't continue with what you were doing, but you go and do something else that allows you to come home to your soul. So what are the things that allows you to come home to your soul? Maybe taking a walk. And you know, one of the things that really helps me when I'm in that state, again, breathing in and out deeply, and then going outside and being with sun. And I'm very lucky because living in California, we get a lot of sun. So just being out there and even like walking with my dog for 15, 20, 30 minutes really settles my energy. The sun is so healing for me. The sun is the most healing energy for me. So I try to spend at least 20 to 30 minutes outside of, with this, so whether it's walking my dog or whether it's being in the backyard, I always spend some time. The sun just really settles my energy. It heals me physically, mentally, emotionally, and spiritually. And then, so do the things that allows you to come home to your soul. What are the things that allow you to come home to your soul? So that's what I would do when all of a sudden I have this overwhelming fear. And then I also take Chinese herbs, certain types of herbs that help me calm my nervous system. And there's different herbs that help with that. Okay. So thank you for that great question. Okay, let's see if there's any hi Penny. No, you're not too late. You're here. So thank you. You're right on time. Um, Najira says, I will use these teachings in my new career in IT. I also have 3 ideas to experiment. Oh, wonderful. I'm so happy, Najira, that you have a new career. Congratulations. We're very happy for your new career in IT. That is wonderful. That sounds really wonderful. So congratulations. Uh, Heidi Gold says, there are so many things to be grateful for. Gratitude is a game changer. Perry, life is an amazing adventure of discovering new perspectives and solutions that are happening because you are freely unencumbered by fear, doubts, and distractions that can cause separation of love. Yes, that is so true. What Perry just said was so true is that fear is coming from the ego mind. It's not coming from your higher self. It's not coming from the soul. It's not coming from a higher conscious. It's coming from the ego mind. The ego mind wants to keep you in that fear mode to control you. And so as you let go of this fear, that's just really it's a fabrication from the ego mind, you're connecting to love. You're connecting to wholeness. You're connecting to your higher self. You're connecting to a higher conscious. You're connecting to the universal forces. And when you start to connect to come home to your soul and connect to all those things, which is essentially connecting to love, love is really the most highest vibrational frequency of energy. That's what love is. That's what I really realized. My definition of love is the highest vibrational frequency that there ever is. And that's how I believe that the universe came about, is that Big Bang was the highest vibrational frequency. The energy was so powerful that there was this bang and the universe started to be created from this high vibrational frequency. And that frequency is love, because that frequency of pure high vibe is love, because that makes everything possible. And we know that love energy is healing. It makes everything possible. When you have that pure, unadulterated love energy, everything is possible, right? There's nothing that's possible. Nothing. Nothing that's not possible. Healing is possible. Manifesting is possible. Bringing in money is possible, because that's the highest vibrational frequency. So so there's nothing that's not possible. Everything is possible at that level, at that stage of love. And this is why it is such a powerful thing. And so the opposite love is really fear. So every time we have fear, we're moving away from that high vibe frequency. We're moving a step away, step away, step away. That's when all kinds of problems are caused in our life, whether it's health issue, whether it's money issue, whether it's relationship issue, whether it's financial, whether it's career issues, right? As we keep stepping away further and further from that love energy, we're moving into fear. We're moving in the opposite direction. And that's when we start to see a lot of problems, and we start to have all of those blocked energies, and we can't manifest. And so when Perry says it's about love, that's what it is. Love is what makes everything possible. Love is God, and God is infinite possibilities, right? So that's a beautiful thing. So Perry, thank you so much for bringing in the concept of love into this discussion of fear, being free of failing, the fear of failing. And so these are some of the steps that I mentioned about how you could let go of that fear of failing. Because I'm telling you, 99.999% of the time, if you think it's a failure, it's really not a failure. It's really an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand. And it's the precursor to the next chapter of your life, to be ready for the next chapter of your life. So every time you notice and have an awareness of the word failure, say pause. I choose to replace that word of failure with opportunity. I choose to replace the word failure with opportunity. And this is an opportunity for me to learn, grow, and expand. And it's preparing me for something even better, preparing me for the next, for me to level up the next step and the next step and the next step. It's all a preparation, because I am an eternal soul of infinite possibilities, of infinite creation, infinite growth, infinite expansion. So it's never about the destination. It's only about the journey. And so if you want that journey to feel like you're expanding and growing, letting go of that fear of failure will make that journey so much more powerful, so much more greater, so much more magical. We want that magical journey, right? And fear is preventing you from feeling that magical journey of expansion and growth. It's all about that magical journey of expansion and growth. And when you release fear, you you literally free up all of that energy, and you're leveraging the power of the universal forces. And when you leverage the power of those universal forces, you are unstoppable. You are unstoppable. And then people around you see you, and they're like, "Oh my God, look at Perry. Look at Nancy. Look at Amanda. Look at Heidi. Look at Najira. Oh my God, look at what she's doing. She's she's just glowing. She's out, she's manifesting. She's doing amazing things. How inspiring is that?" And you motivate and you influence the people around you. That's how beautiful this is. That's how beautiful of just letting go of that fear of failure and having the courage to go on that journey, go on that path, your soul's journey, because I guarantee the universe is supporting you and guiding you, and you will be receiving those cooperative components that you that you need to be able to manifest that goal or intention. Okay. So replace the word failure with opportunity. Okay. Even if you, oh, I love this. Paris says, even if you fall on your face, you are still moving forward. I love that. Thank you, Paris. That is so funny. It's funny. It's so true. It's like you're still moving forward, right? It's so true. That is so true. I love it. Thank you so much. I love that, Perry. That is so true, but it is so funny that even if you fall on your face, you're moving forward, and you're still moving forward, right? Okay, so thank you so much. Okay, so if there's nothing else, let's do a closing prayer. I have a call at 10 a.m. I want to take a 5-minute break, and so let's do a closing prayer. Dear God, angel, spirit guides, send masters, divine creator, thank you so much for allowing us to discuss and engage with these beautiful souls. I mean, really, they are such beautiful souls that are so wise, smart, genius, that allow us to really free ourselves from the fear of failure. To be able to do that, give us more courage, give us more support to be able to let go of the fear of failure, knowing that failure is really just an opportunity to learn, grow, and expand to prepare us for the next step, the next chapter in our life. So, thank you so much for allowing us to really connect with these powerful wisdoms, powerful messages, powerful guidance, so that each and every one of us may truly be on our soul's journey and path of that great expansion and growth, and to have all of these wonderful physical experiences that are magical, that are free of any fear, that really allows to be in the flow and align with the universal forces. So thank you so much for your continued support, your continued guidance, your continued protection, and most importantly, your unconditional love. And so it is. Namaste. Okay, much love and blessings to all of you. Have a